Welcome to My Autistic Experience, a podcast where we explore the unique journey of living on the autism spectrum through the eyes of my favorite co-host and son, Aaron. I'm Dr. Divina Lopez, a pediatrician, autism expert, and most importantly, I'm Aaron's mom. In each episode, we'll share stories, insights, and reflections from Aaron's life, starting from his early toddler days to his adventures as a preteen. Whether you're an autism parent, a professional, or simply curious about life on the spectrum, you're in the right place. So let's dive in together and celebrate what makes each and every experience extraordinary.
Thanks for listening. Now let's get started.
Welcome back to my podcast. I'm Dr. Divina Lopez. This is my son, Aaron. He's 12 years old. We're doing a new series on the podcast, and we're going to title this series My Autistic Experience because it's really going to be me interviewing my son, Aaron, and we're going to be talking about what it's like in his journey so far with autism. Now that he's a preteen, and I think, when we reflect back on all the previous years, he has a lot to say. So I wanted to make this podcast series as a way to just share his true life experiences. So he's very expressive, and I love the way he expresses, what he goes through on a daily basis. And I thought it would be interesting for other families, maybe other kids who can relate to him. It'll be helpful for them and for the mamas, because I'm going to be giving my experience as well, raising a child on the spectrum. Aaron, let's talk a little bit about you. You want to share a little information about yourself?
Sure, why not? Hi, everyone. I'm Aaron, but obviously you all know that. And something that you might not know, if any of you watching are Rocket Fire fans, Showbiz Pizza fans, Chuck E. Cheese fans, or if you're in the fandom and stuff like that, or if you just know about it, I'm very into that stuff.
Well, what is that generally? What would you consider that?
What do you mean?
What is the nickname that I call you?
Oh, yeah, animatronics.
For those of you who are not familiar with the bands, like he was just mentioning, really what Aaron has always been into, and this has been his real special interest, is animatronics.
Excuse me, if you're going to explain about the Rocket Fire explosion, then you might as well let me do the talking.
Well, we're not going to go through the whole history, but
not that.
Let's talk about what got you into the whole animatronic thing. Because this is a common thing for kids on the spectrum to be interested in.
So this was in 2016. I was about 3, maybe 4, so possibly 2017. But I was on YouTube and I saw a video, and that's how it all started. And then I showed my dad the video, and he had been to a Showbiz Pizza when he was a kid back in the 80s, so he looked for the nearest one to us that was still around, because, by then Showbiz Pizza Place was gone, but Chuck E. Cheese was still around, so Dad took me to the nearest Chuck E. Cheese, and I don't remember the games. I don't remember much. There's pretty much only a couple things I remember, and one of those things are the animatronics. I remember the first time I saw them, and I'm just staring at them, and I'm like, oh, wow. And I've been a fan ever since. I mean, there were times where I got out of it and got into other things, but sooner or later, I always eventually ended up getting back into the fandom.
Yeah, so over the years, I think maybe your first special interests were things like Elmo when you were really, really young, and then you were really, really into Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
Anything Christmas.
That's true. Peter Cottontail.
Yeah.
The
every
Easter
holiday,
Bunny.
This guy loved everything that had to do with holidays.
Oh, yeah, and also remember that TV show, Yo Gabba Gabba. I used to love that.
Really obsessed with Yo Gabba Gabba.
I was crazy about that one. I was crazy about that when I was 3 or 4.
I have a story to tell about Yo Gabba Gabba, actually, because one of my very first patients in the first private practice that I worked in, she was a little girl who was really obsessed with Muno, Aaron. And I don't think, did I tell you the story?
Yeah, you did.
She would come in with that Muno. I thought it was the ugliest thing I ever saw. And I was always like, why does she love this thing? But she always had to have like one hand in each toy. And she was just the cutest little girl with the biggest round eyes. Oh my gosh, she was just adorable and I loved her so much. But she always used to carry around this Muno, and I used to
Yeah,
think it was
Muno.
creepy.
Muno from Yo Gabba Gabba.
And then my son got into Yo Gabba Gabba, and I remember when he showed me that thing, I'm like, oh my god, I remember when this little girl always used to hold that, and now I actually had it in my house.
Yes.
But you loved Plex. Plex was like your favorite character.
Yeah, Plex the robot.
Yeah. So he was really into all of those things. I didn't know that he was so much into animatronics, but you also do the movements.
Yes.
And
I just don't like people to see me doing it because then I get embarrassed. Like I would never do it on camera. Please don't ask me to.
no, we're not asking you to do it. But you always used to do these movements, like,
And I still do.
and you like mimic anything that you're like really into. So like when it was Frosty, he would do like this jumping thing and the happy birthday, and
Yeah,
with
every
the
time
hat.
they put the hat on.
And then, as we went on to other things, you would always try to mimic those things. And now he
Yeah.
does it with the animatronics. And I mean, like he's really amazing with the way he can mimic the movements of the animatronics. He looks just like them. It's so funny. And I do think that that's part of his stimming. Like his stimming, his way of comforting himself is really like by doing these sort of movements and mimicking the animatronics. It's the first thing that you do when you get home from school, right? Like you're looking forward to coming home so you could do that. Do you do it at school too?
Maybe sometimes the arm.
Okay. Yeah, like you can't help yourself. Right? Am I right about that? Yeah. So he does have, yeah, he has this
Earl.
animatronics band that now we go traveling around to find these animatronics because they're not even like so commonly around where we live. We live in New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah, we had to go. We went all the way to West Virginia once to see the rocket fire explosion at Billy Bob's Wonderland. Actually, if you look at the thumbnail, you'll see it.
And we also have traveled down to North Carolina.
Oh yeah, to see the Chuck E. Cheese Pineville, which were former rocket fire animatronics. By the way, the picture of me at Billy Bob's Wonderland shows me on the stage because I got permission to, and I'm actually like posing with Billy Bob on the stage. Like, not the mascot, the actual animatronic itself. Oh wait, by the way, this is how much of a fan I am of the rocket fire explosion. Hang on one moment.
So you see how he gets really excited and he can be very obsessed about these things. Like we have posters, t-shirts. He wanted to get the record. It's challenging for his birthday or like holidays to find these things because they're very rare and they're expensive. And sometimes like when family members ask us like what to get him, he gets a little disappointed when he receives gifts that people think like a typical kid his age would want. And I have to explain to him like, yeah, it's okay. It's disappointing because people should really try to find out what the kid truly likes, right? But that doesn't always happen, and it's okay. They do mean well,
Yeah,
right?
I always make sure I say thank you. I never tell them, "Oh, your gift is horrible." I never say that. I'm just thank you, and then I just might not use it.
Yeah, but it feels disappointing.
I mean, yeah, it's like that feeling of disappointment, but I always love the thought no matter what it is. It's just that it's like you still feel happy because you're happy that they thought about you, but then at the same time you're disappointed. But
I would give a tip to family members to try to really find out like what is that person's special interest, because just because they're 12 and they're a boy doesn't mean that they're going to love video games and stuff like that. That's what people typically think that Aaron is going to want. So, they try to give him those sort of presents right now, but he's really not into video games. He's actually into very vintage things. So he's going to show you.
I've never been into video games. I've never.
Yeah, that's not his special interest, but he's going to show you.
I did try video games once, but I just thought it was boring.
Mm-hmm. You've tried them several times.
Yeah, they were boring. No offense to those video game fans, but to me it was just boring.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Okay, so my mom just said that I wanted to get the records, and for my birthday present, I got this. And I also got
animatronics.
I also got a record player, so that way I can play the record. Side A, "Do You Love Me" featuring Beach Bear, and side B, "Happy Birthday" medley. The Rocket Fire Explosion. And
like this kid is a total 80s kid. Like he was born in the wrong era.
Yeah, I really was. I wish I existed during the showbiz days so that way I could go there and see them in person a lot more often. And and then for my early Christmas present, my mom let me open a present on Christmas Eve, and this is what I got. The Rocket Fire Explosion's first album.
Exciting.
Yeah, there they all go. There's Beach Bear, Mitzi, Fats, Billy Bob. Yeah. and then it even shows the songs that are on this. They did a lot of covers, but they also have done some songs that they wrote. Side A, there's Little Sister, the music goes round and round. Light My Fire, My Love, Satisfaction medley, and baseball. And then side B has Going Crazy, You May Be Right, Sal's Birthday, how could I forget that one? Unchained Melody, Too Shy, and Beatles medley.
So, Mister, I want you to answer this question. What do you hope that the listeners of this podcast will learn from this series?
What I like, and also like who we are, and
what do you hope that the listeners will get out of this podcast series?
That not all 12-year-old autistic boys are the same.
Okay. What do you think about autism?
To be honest, I don't think it's that bad. Actually, to be honest, my life would probably be not as good as it is now if I didn't have it.
So you see it as a positive thing?
Yes, very positive. Even though some people don't think of it as that, I think of it like it's part of me, and it's always been a part of me. I mean, it kind of has always been a part of me. And
it is, right? You were born with autism. It is a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that listening to this podcast series is going to be helpful for other kids on the spectrum?
To be honest, yes.
Why?
Because now maybe autistic parents could be inspired by this.
How about the kids themselves?
Well, yeah, actually, maybe.
Do you think it would be helpful for them to hear what it's like and how you've dealt with challenges throughout your life?
And we'll be explaining those things in future episodes.
Yeah. I'm actually hoping that kids get to see how normal it is, in a way, to have certain qualities of being neurodivergent.
Yes, I want people to know that
you may have similar challenges on this journey or similar successes. I also want families to feel like they're not alone on this journey. I want them to get some good tips and advice, maybe, especially if you have some young ones and you're just starting off. You want to see what this journey is like. I think it's going to be helpful. And I also just want kids like Aaron not to feel like they have to mask or not be themselves, and that everyone should just truly accept you just for who you are, right? And not try to change you. And you shouldn't want to change yourself either, because you're perfect just the way you are. So that's it for this episode. I just wanted to do an introduction to Aaron and just give you a little taste of what this podcast series is going to be like. And stay tuned. I plan on releasing these episodes weekly with Mr. Aaron. He'll be the person that I'm interviewing throughout this series. Are you looking forward to getting interviewed by me?
Sure.
Are you feeling nervous about it?
I mean, maybe.
It took him a while to agree to doing this podcast with me.
Yeah, but then it's just that not only does it make money, but I mean, sure, why not do this for you guys? And also, lately there have been a few Rocket Fire shows for sale on eBay and stuff, and my dream is to own these guys someday. So maybe once this podcast makes the money and stuff, then maybe my dream will be accomplished. And even after it gets accomplished, we'll still be doing the podcast series for you. And also, once my dream gets accomplished, I will make my own YouTube channel and I will showcase these guys to you guys.
Actually, that's a good thing. Before we leave, what do you hope to be when you grow up?
I hope to be an engineer that builds animatronics. And I know a lot of people don't like the current version of Chuck E. Cheese, Rockstar Chuck. So I'm gonna try to make a new version of Chuck. Maybe I'll take It's a Rob's word and I'll do like Tuxedo Chuck, but with a top hat instead of a red derby, and he will not hold a magic wand, and like his face and stuff
But
will be designed a little different.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Someone that does that stuff.
Yeah.
I also want to help Disney, because lately they've been replacing their animatronics with screens. So I want to reverse it. I want there to be more animatronics, so that way then it could be, the opposite. Animatronics replacing screens and not robots. Please do not confuse animatronics with robots. They are two different things.
All right, there you heard it. You heard it right from the source, Aaron Agramonte.
Yeah, I also hope to maybe in the future, after accomplishing my dream of owning these guys, then maybe I could try building my own animatronic band.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, featuring characters that I designed myself.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast today.
Yes, thank you so much. Wait, Mom, don't stop it yet. Lola, please, can you come over here?
She doesn't want to. That's our dog. You have to give her something. Go get it.
Okay. She loves these things. Okay, come on, Lola, come up.
Oh, they can't see her.
They can't see you guys.
This is the other family member. Oh my goodness, the dog.
She is being so aggressive right now.
Oh my goodness, and now she's talking. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on My Autistic Experience. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and that it gave you a little insight, hope, or even a smile. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you're looking for a way to bring more ease and organization to your parenting journey, check out the Tiny Mighty Autism Parent Planner. It's packed with tools to help parents like you advocate for your child and find peace in the chaos. You'll find the link in our show notes. Until next time, remember, every experience is mighty in its own way. See you soon.
This episode is brought to you by the Tiny Mighty Autism Parent Planner, created by my mom, to help parents like yours stay organized, advocate for their kids, and find peace in their journey.